Destiny 2 Into the Light has finally arrived, and although we currently are unable to use all the weapons, we at least have access to the API's perks, which allow us to see everything that we could want. And, well, my personal recommendations, which is the purpose of me making this video, is any recommendations for whoever may find this for any form of guide. Well, now comes two major questions about the arsenal. Question number 1, how to get the weapons, and question number 2, what is the origin trait? So let's get question 1 out of the way, as it's simple to explain, the obtainability of the weapons, which is this. Onslaught, where either or version, playlist if you don't have much time, and the regular if you have some time to sink in and have a good one to actually sit there and farm. And method 2, being the Trophies of Bravery inside of the Hall of Champions for 10 a pot. And question 2 being what is Indomitability, which, well, it is a subclass dependent perk, as how if you're running a Stasis and or Strand subclass, you gain 5% of your melee ability, and if you are running Void, Solar, and or Arc, you would gain 5% of your grenade ability. So basically, it is a diet version of either Demolitionist for your light subclasses, and or a diet version of Pugilist for your darkness subclasses. Now with that out of the way, we can finally get into discussing all of these weapons. And first weapon I want to highlight is the Luna's Howl, as how, well, this is also made to clarify one thing for potential new players, as how, if you look at the weapon, it is labeled a precision frame, but yet has a 140 round per minute fire rate. So this will be answering the question for them, what is this weapon's damage type? Which at the footage, as we see with Luna's Howl, it does, for minors, 10,340 a crit and 6,634 a body shot, and then we go to the major is 4,275 and 3,031 a body shot. Now, if we test this with a precision frame hand cannon, it hits for, on minors, 8,997 a crit and 5,998 a body shot. And we switch to a major target, it does 4,111, and it does 2,741 a body shot. And if we switch to a adaptive frame hand cannon, the 140 round per minute variety, it does, on minors, 10,340 a crit and 6,633 a body shot. And if we switch to majors, it does 4,275 a crit, and for body shots, it does 3,031 a body. So, confirming, Luna's Howl has the stats of a 180 precision frame, but the damage profile of an adaptive frame. Yippee! Which, well, now with our damage problem out of the way, we can now discuss the weapons perks, which there are personally 3 in the first column I'm going to be keeping an eye out for, which is Heal Clip, Enlightened Action, and Subsistence. Perk column 2 is, well, 4, potentially 5. And the main 4 will be Incandescent, as how that's an easy way to spread Scorch around, Magnificent Howl, which has gotten a rework, which we will dive into after I explain this, Desperate Measures, because it's basically just free damage, and Harmony, debatably. Harmony's weird. And, well, with our little perk selection out of the way, we can discuss Magnificent Howl, which, from Luna's Howl, how it works is every precision hit you load into your next magazine, doing increased precision damage and body shot damage, which, as we can see from minors, is up to 15,509 a crit, and 9,949 a body, and with majors it's 7,087 a crit, along with 4,546 a body shots. So approximately a 50% bonus in damage. But personally, the ones I'm personally going to be going for is Heal Clip and Incandescent for just a generic solar weapon, Subsistence and Desperate Measures for constant uptime of both perks, and either Enlightened Action or Heal Clip with Magnificent Howl, as how that 50% bonus damage on precision kills in the previous mag could come funny because of the final shape, confirming that we are going to be able to enhance these perks from Into the Light. Insert brain rot joke about edging here. And the weapon we're talking about is called Edge Transit. And, well, they delivered. I mean, just look at this. Cascade Point, Field Prep, Autoloading Holster, and Envy Assassin all in the first column, and then the second column having Bait and Switch primarily, Explosive Light, and along with Deconstruct for those who just want to have more rounds to spill. And I think I have found my new Void stacking weapon. But personally, I have a few I am wanting to hunt myself. This being the safe and obvious roles being Cascade Point / Envious Assassin with Bait and Switch. There's Autoloading Holster and or Field Prep with Deconstruct. And then Autoloading Holster, Explosive Light, and also a Autoloading and or Envious with Bait and Switch as well. Because, come on, you just really can't go wrong with Bait and Switch here.
You're as beautiful as the day I lost you.
Well, if what the opening clip isn't a giveaway, I love Mountaintop. And Bungie's gonna have a hard time prying this from my cold, dead hands. Especially with what they're giving it. Like with the first column having Ambitious Assassin, Autoloading Holster, Lead from Gold, and Overflow along with Demolitionist, so you can double dip into your grenade charge for light subclasses. And the second column having major standouts being One for All, Vorpal, Harmony, Recombination, Frenzy, and Rampage. So that is going to be one hell of a roll. Well, no matter what you get. I mean, hell, I literally, because I was going to have this planned out last week to release, but kind of messed up on being, well, streaming and other stuff. I literally rushed gameplay to get a Mountaintop roll just so I can do this. But personally, I have a lot of rolls I'd be going for, mostly being the auto-loading Frenzy roll for something plain and simple, Ambitious Assassin One for All, Lead from Gold Recombination, along with something with, like I said, auto-loading Holster and Vorpal Weapon potentially for any boss DPS swapping, or I'll keep that as my Frenzy roll. And from something like that, I want to redirect your attention to Hung Jury. The other Hung Jury. The other Hung Jury. And while there is good options, I just don't like it. I will say, though, probably rerun rounds Kinetic Tremors is probably the best option, but if you're going to use a Kinetic Tremors on this thing, just get the Vanguard one with Shoot to Loot, or also the fact that you can have Firefly and Explosive Payload, along with Best for Measures, Cascade Point, just, but if you want my personal take, Randy's Throwing Knife. End of discussion. Ah, yes, such a beautiful guillotine. The beloved spin to win. And, well, they did actually make it able to get some decent stuff that's going to be fun, with Frenzy Vorpal in the first slot along with Relentless Blades. Then we have the second slot having Eager Edge, Surrounded, and Beta Switch with Whirlwind Blade, as well for Eucopium holders. And, well, I'd probably go with the, well, Frenzy Surrounded, just for all the damage, along with something with Eager Edge with Frenzy as well, just because I did not get Slammer. And next up is the beautiful rifle. As well, it's heavy, maintenance being as well with the first column, Lead from Gold, Reconstruction, and Demolitionist. And then in the second column being Recombination, Focus Fury, Firing Line, and Vorpal Weapon for those who want to just have something consistent. I'd probably just say, like I said, Reconstruction, Focus Fury, just for safe play, just in case they do anything with this archetype, as how, well, I'm just going to be using Supremacy. Hi, it's Midnight Coup, a weapon I say looks one of the best in the game from its initial reincarnation, and, well, it's also got some decent stuff as well. Main callouts for PvE stuff would be Attrition Orb, Shoot to Loot, and Explosive Payload with Firefly in the first column, and then Desperate Measures, Kinetic Tremors, One for All, and Frenzy in the second. Personally, I'm probably just going to be doing the Explosive Payload, Kinetic Tremors roll that everyone else wants to do, or something with Shoot to Loot and Frenzy for potentially higher content. And following Midnight Coup is Blast Furnace, another really good looking weapon, but does that look and hold up? Well, it also can, with, again, Shoot to Loot, Kinetic Tremors, and Perpetual Motion with Keep Away as well in that first column, which is really interesting. Like, Kinetic Tremors has never been seen on the first column minus this weapon, I believe. Then next up would be Firefly, Frenzy, Rapid Hit, Desperate Measures is what I'd really go for. And, well, I mean, Frenzy and Connect Tremors is a basic roll, but it's also nice to have. But also potentially Shoot to Loot with Firefly or Frenzy could also be helpful. But ultimately, I'd probably just go with something with Connect Tremors and Rapid Hit as well for some decent consistency as well. Oh, will you look at that? It's the best gun in the game. The perks are obvious because it's the best gun in the fucking game. If you don't have the best gun in the game, then, well, all you're going to be looking for is Ambitious Assassin and Chain Reaction. I'm not going to make it up as a joke. Just, that's it. Because it's the best gun in the game. And after the best gun in the game comes what was probably the best machine gun in the game at the time, Hammerhead. And oh, I wish I used you back then because you were really good, but you're even better now. With stuff like Rampage, Destabilizing, Rewind, and 4 times the Charm in the first column, along with Killing Tally, Onslaught, Target Lock, Desperate Measures, and Surrounded. Like, what are they doing with this thing? Did they just say, fuck, but ultimately, it's amazing, so I'd probably either go with the good old Breakneck, Rampage, and Onslaught, or most likely would be is Rewind Rounds and Killing Tally, depending on if it works as the way I'm thinking it will work. But if not, then Desperate Measures is always there. And the last is the first weapon normally unlocked with this being Elsie's rifle. And I'm just gonna be honest. For PvE, there's nothing I really want in this weapon. I'm sorry, I wanted to use this thing, but all I could think of is Repulsor Brace and Keep Away, along with Destabilizing Rounds or Desperate Measures or Frenzy in the second column. It's just so blah. I would rather use anything else. And also one thing I totally remembered and not recording this finally as of editing the video is the Recluse. I 100% remembered it, and personally I would just say if you're looking for anything on Recluse, I would just go with, for PvE at least, Repulsor Brace, Subsistence with Desperate Measures or Frenzy, and Destabilizing Rounds as well, but you can normally get Volatile Rounds through almost anything else in PvE, so it doesn't really matter. And well, that is it with all of the brave weapons. So all I could really say is, on personal projects wise, this was mostly just a video to see if I can, well, still make stuff instead of just streaming all the time. And well, in other news, I have going to start working on the voiceover for one video I've been wanting to do for a while, and the Paragon is slowly but surely making its way through the Guardian ranks. But other than that, I should be live tonight after this video goes up, if I have my planning right. And then, ultimately, just, that's all I really can say. So, just take care.